feature presentation.
So the three car is in the middle of another controversy again in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, while the Spurs lose a key player for potentially the rest of the season, as we were finally slowly but surely getting healthy with Vassell close to returning and Tre Jones making good progress in the right direction. So let's talk about it. Hey YouTube, what's going on? Mark here. Happy Thursday to all, and then I could be doing a hell of a lot better health-wise. I will be sitting out again tomorrow, considering I'm still not feeling my best in terms of my health with this sore throat turned into cold. So therefore, please excuse me if I sound like shit, or if I'm like, consistently, wiping my nose and shit, even though I might have to wash my hands after the video's recorded. But I'm trying to make this short as possible. So let's talk about the Jeremy Sochan injury. So therefore, he was doing really good and playing with a lot of nasty, including getting into those 2 or 3 fights against a couple of those teams where even Wemby got into a fight in one, and then during one of those 3 games we had against the cheating McDouchebags, with bum-ass Dillon Brooks. Sochan got into a fight with Jabari Smith, and then he got into another fight with Jada McDaniels against the Wolves on Missy Fierro's Malik Rose 31st birthday, or as I normally like to put it, Mike Skinner, Robbie Gordon 31st birthday. But apparently he suffered a mysterious thumb injury in the second quarter of that game against the Clippers the other night that I wasn't staying up all night to watch, because 10:30 is too damn late for me, considering how much I hate West Coast games and even West Coast NASCAR races, considering, I guess they heard me complaining, which I know this is going off topic, but I have to for a second. I am glad they changed the start time for tomorrow's Craftsman Truck race at Phoenix to Chevy Silverado 150 from 10 o'clock Eastern Time p.m. to 8 o'clock Eastern Time p.m. because I guess they heard me and a lot of other people complaining and probably don't want a repeat of last year's nuclear shit show, to the point where they moved up the start time 2 hours early. So kudos to NASCAR, but either way, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I still feel like this weekend at Phoenix is still going to be a nuclear shit show to decide the champion in the Craftsman Truck, the Busch Grand National, and the Winston Cup Series. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But, Sochan, because of that mysterious thumb injury against the Clippers in their new arena where we blew another big lead and, lost it to them. So he gets successful surgery on it, thankfully, but it appears that it's that serious to the point where we might not get him back till next year, and it makes me so angry because we were slowly but surely starting to get healthy. Everybody who was still actively playing and who was actually still healthy was doing a great job keeping themselves out of injury trouble. And Vassell was is almost back, almost ready to come back from the injury that he suffered at the end of last season. Tankathon 2.0, for me 1.75. And Tre Jones was making good progress, considering, I only became a fan of his because he tore that shit up like Terry Labonte in the Summer League against the Hornets, including a game winner. And I said, if you could do that with the big boys, I'm pretty sure you're going to earn my way. You're going to earn your way to my, favorite players list. So, therefore, but he needs to do that in the big boys too. That's all I can say. But anyway, prayers for speedy recovery for our man, Jeremy Sochan. The Spurs need him. He's like, the modern day version of what Rodman was to us when we had him when I was a baby, when Duncan was at Wake Forest, before Pop had the idea to trade him to Chicago for Will Perdue. So, therefore, Yeah, Vassell is going to be back soon. I hope Tre Jones will be back. We were going to have a full squad once Vassell and Tre Jones came back. It was going to be Bob Vila lookout, but yeah, another sense of false hope because that's just our luck in San Antonio, I guess. Now, for the NASCAR penalties, where NASCAR laid the hammer down on the 3 car was in the middle of controversy again, considering they're already on thin ice with the bullshit that happened at Richmond with the Chevy Monte Carlo 400 shit show, and even off the track with this teammate Kyle Busch, the whole, the whole shebang, like Ricky Martin with, they were like, doing that little sus thing with Joe Gibbs racing, whatever the fuck they were talking about. I think Ty Gibbs was talking about it, basically mentioning it without mentioning it, like mentioning it indirectly. So therefore, if it's not hard enough being an RCR fan or an Austin Dillon fan, it just became a hell of a lot harder. So that's what I'm here to talk about. So as we all know, the Chevys and Toyotas were doing some manufacturer team order bullshit, which ruined, what had been an incredible race this past Sunday night in the Old Dominion 500 at Martinsville, where Bubba looked like, had a tire going down, quote unquote, which we all know was bullshit, and which is why he and his team got in trouble. They were gonna appeal, but then they decided to rescind their appeal, which I guess is for the better, considering I don't think NASCAR would have overturned it or rescinded the penalty, kind of like what they've done with other penalties in the past, whether it didn't matter what team. But if I had $100 bill of every time that 3 car was in the middle of controversy, I'd be $200 richer, let alone $300 was between if you had what's going on off the track between RCR and JGR, Joe Gibbs racing, which is why I've not been too crazy about Joe Gibbs since the days of Tony Stewart, Bobby Labonte, the last likable drivers and real men to drive for Joe Gibbs racing when they were Pontiac Grand Prix back in the Winston Cup Gen 4 days. So, yeah, Trackhouse got it penalized too with Ross Chastain, the Crouch of Doom, Dave Allen Baker's driver, for the, where Bubba slowed down to, let Bell take a position, which Bell wasn't penalized for that. He was penalized for the wall ride, a safety violation. I'm sure he didn't mean to. He was about to wreck, and he got loose and, chased the car up the track into the wall. But it was a half wall ride. What dictates as a full wall ride or what doesn't? But either way, I guess a wall ride is a wall ride, whether he meant to or not. So he broke the rules, even if he didn't mean to. And I can understand that frustration, but they should have focused on, the team order bullshit, disqualifying him either way. And needless to say, this reminds me of Spingate 2013 at the same race where Austin did his bullshit this year. The Chevrolet Monte Carlo 400 with destroyed one whole team while this is the manufacturer version of Spingate 2013, except not as severe because manufacturers can bounce back with whatever they want, whoever they want. So therefore, they have a chance to redeem themselves with other teams. Unfortunately, Michael Waltrip Racing wasn't able to do that. That was the beginning of the end of that organization. And, oh my God, there was a lot to say about this. Oh yeah, Mark Triggs Jr. got penalized for something he had nothing to do with, considering he didn't do anything wrong, but because he benefited from it. That's why he got taken out of the chase for the Cup in 2013, and why Napa was so disgusted with what his team, even though their driver didn't do nothing, that they left the team altogether. So, therefore, but yeah, I mean, Byron should have got penalized. I know he didn't do nothing wrong, but since, he benefited from it, if NASCAR set the precedent, even if you don't do anything wrong, but if you benefit from something that your actual teammate or manufacturer teammate did, and because of team order bullshit, then you should be penalized too. You should be punished. But of course, Truex got penalized for something that he had nothing to do with. He didn't do nothing wrong. But yet Byron did not get penalized for something he benefited it from despite not doing nothing wrong. I'm not saying this because I'm a Hendrick hater like I once was when Jimmy and Jeff were there. I mean, obviously a lot of people, thousands of fans, including myself and my dad, hated Jimmy for winning too much. My dad just hated Jeff Gordon for whatever reason because he thought he was a whiner. But since I was a kid and I did not know how to make my own decisions, I thought, if my dad don't like him, neither do I. So I kind of hated Jeff for no reason. I could have just liked him, but I just wanted to copy my dad as a kid. So, but then he grew on me in this final season where I began to appreciate him more. So therefore, So to Dale Reynolds and all the other Jordan fans, don't take offense to it. I was like a stubborn, dumbass little kid who, like, didn't know how to make his own decisions as a person, let alone a race fan, and wanted to copy everybody. So therefore, I didn't realize how stupid I was being until I grew up and got older and realized what the fuck is wrong with me. But yeah, if NASCAR's going to set that precedent, like they said, Truex in 2013 during Spingate, then they should have kept that same energy for Byron this year. But hey, I don't make the rules or run NASCAR. It's just corrupt leaders like, Elton Sawyer, who's also was a starting excuse of a Busch Series driver. I've seen him in more interviews, telling what's wrong with NASCAR, and they're basically admitting with not knowing what the fuck he's doing without saying it, more than I've ever seen him in interviews when he was driving the number 98 car. So I've been seeing or Aikens Motorsports, Steve O'Donnell, Steve Phelps don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just as much as clowns as Elton Sawyer always has been, dating back to his Busch Series days, considering he sucked as a driver, like I've said thousands of times. And Jim France, you would think he would clean up the mess that his nephew made, but no, he just made it even worse by adding fuel to the fire, making it seem like Brian never left. And to that idiot who on Facebook who wrote that article about Brian France was a better leader than everybody thought he was, hell no, he wasn't. I mean, whoever wrote that shit was basically high on crack. So therefore, yeah, but I really don't want to. I have a lot to say about this, but I'm just going to leave it at that so I can just get this over with and drink some more soda and fluid, to help me, and take more medicine to help me with this cold. So send me, pray for me, everybody. Thanks for the well wishes. I mean, YouTube's in a semi-leave of absence. I'm not uploading as much, but I'm still getting uploads done, to provide you guys with content, considering, I still have to push while at the same time getting some rest. And, yeah, the Spurs played this late afternoon, early evening in 2 days against the Jazz on Fox Southwest and NBA TV. But since I have an app where I don't have to worry about the stupid ass blackouts like on League Pass, I don't have to watch it on NBA TV. I can watch it with the Spurs feed while NBA TV is carrying the game on its own. So to those who are Spurs fans but don't live in San Antonio and don't have access to the Spurs channel without the blackout, or either don't have access to it at all or have access to it but with the blackout, but I guess you guys are watching on NBA TV and still get our feed since we're the home team, considering NBA TV doesn't know how to hire their own announcers. But now that I don't have to, I have an app where blackouts are not, required, that I can watch the Spurs feed all 82 games, not all 82, almost 82, all 82 games a season, which I wish we would have had this kind of access when Bill Land was still in the booth. But hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. But yeah, besides the Spurs playing, which they are playing right now as we speak against the Blazers, but with the Spurs playing Saturday, at least I'll have something better to do than watch potentially a nuclear shit show on Saturday during the Busch Grand National race, which I think doesn't that race start at 7, 8-ish? So I think I could do both, but I have a feeling I'm not going to enjoy that because of the fact that I'm fearing the worst, considering after what happened at Martinsville this past weekend and what happened in the Chevy Silverado 150 last year. So therefore, tomorrow we are not watching Chevy Silverado 150. It's just probably going to be a Diet Light Soda version of what the fuck last year was. And then Saturday, I might watch the Busch Grand National race to see who wins the championship, considering I haven't watched the Busch race since the Napa 300 at Daytona. But I have a bad feeling it's going to be I think all three races going to be a nuclear shit show. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm not holding my breath. So time for me to go get some rest and recuperate from this cold and get an early start on the weekend, where hopefully I can return on Monday so we can go stack them up like Kenny Wallace on Coke and more NASCAR diecast on Target come the brand new. So when we start the new week and do that NASCAR haul I've been waiting to bring you guys since the Gregson Daytona win diecast for my Todd Bodine 26th birthday is almost here. Have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. I will see you all for the next video, whenever that may be. And if we don't get a walk-off at all between, this coming week and up to the 2-week Thanksgiving festivities, which is going to be a week later than last year. We got Thanksgiving with the Alvarez's. Well, no, it's going to be a 1 week festivity. So if we don't get a fit Sandy Ridge walk off this coming week or the next week, which is the week before Thanksgiving, then I guess the Sandy Ridge season is officially over, and we got 2 Thanksgiving festivities in 1 week. Thanksgiving with the Oliveras on the 28th, and then where we have a Friendsgiving we're hopefully going to be able to go to on the 30th with Maeve Walsh. It won't be her Friendsgiving like it was last year, but it will be a Friendsgiving of a friend of hers that she invited me to go to, which hopefully I can find a ride to. And then maybe the 29th for Black Friday, we can film, a fall epilogue or a winter prologue. But it might have to be a fall prologue or epilogue or something, because then we won't have time for a winter prologue or because of the Friendsgiving. But we'll figure it out one way or another. But a winter prologue will be my backup plan in case I'm able to make the Friendsgiving. So we'll keep you all posted on what's going to be happening as we wrap up Season 4, Adventures in Autumn, and kick off Season 4, Winter Wonderland, and the Christmas season come December 1st. And whatever confirmed information we have from all sources, I will pass that all along to you immediately as soon as I find out every confirmed detail that I know. So thank you all again for the support. I hope we can get Nurse back to health by Monday, because if we got through it the first time with the sinus ear infection when we did the autumn pathway to rebound, then we can do it again, this time with this sore throat turned to bad cold. We got this. See you later, everyone.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.